high blood pressure and it's really affecting them, they're pretty sick already. So we wanted to offer you something where, like in 30 seconds, you know what your blood pressure is. So what we have for you, the fact that you can know it in 30 seconds, you can put it on your wrist. It's wonderful. This is called the Veridian Health SmartHeart Wrist Digital Blood Pressure Monitor. You take your blood pressure right on your wrist, any time of day, every day of the week, anytime you eat something and you need to know that. This is so important. It's $21.45 today. And so we've knocked $4 off for you, 3 flexible payments. That's 3 monthly payments of $7 to get this home. And I can't say enough how important this is, because if you know somebody with high blood pressure, it can be pretty serious. They don't call it a silent killer for nothing. So this is, again, one of those essentials that everyone, I think, should have in their home just for peace of mind. But don't take my word for it. We have the nurse here, HSN's nurse, our professional here, who we love, even though sometimes I get nervous, like, are you gonna prick me? What's gonna happen? So Matthew Peters is here, and this is very, very important. I mean, you can't take for granted you know, not knowing what your blood pressure is.
No, and don't worry, this is a safe, comfortable, friendly environment.
Sure.
So no intrusive medical treatment or anything like that. I mean, this is the time to have these conversations, right? So when you have a reliable device that you can count on, get accurate, clinically accurate results, know what your numbers are. I want to talk just for a moment about those statistics again, because when you say the silent killer, Debbie, everybody can relate to things like, you know, your car, you might have it waxed and detailed. It might look like $1 million, but the engine might be about to blow and you don't know it. So it's the same with people. We have this going on in our bodies all the time. 1 in 3, 75 million of us have high blood pressure, but only about half of us have it under control with medications or exercise or diet. Another 75 million have pre-hypertension that's undiagnosed.
Wow.
So it's costing us $46 billion a year, but it's costing us tragedy because, you know, the first sign or symptom of high blood pressure oftentimes is the big heart attack or the stroke. So that's, you know, that means up to and including death. And we want to avoid all these circumstances. So that's the doom and gloom, but it's a wake-up call. So from Veridian, they give you the peace of mind. You're gonna hold up to 60 readings in memory. It's gonna give you those clinically accurate results. And take a look at how easy it is to read. You'll interpret the reading with that high blood pressure indicator, and it's a tremendous value to get this home.
Absolutely.
Easy to use, and whether your wrist is about 5.5 inches to about 8.5 inches, this is gonna fit, and Jen's here so we can show you how to use it live in the studio. No, no pressure, Jen.
No pressure, Jen. Yeah, so it's very simple. So you don't even really have to take out the instructions, right?
No, and Veridian gives you everything with this. So you're gonna get the blood pressure monitor all at this value. You're gonna get the hard shell case. It's gonna have an auto shut off to conserve battery power, and the batteries come included. So she just puts it on her wrist with a hook and loop. It's nice and snug. One button to get her going. Now, what Veridian gives you is that latest technology. So it's got the inflation and deflation technology that they are famous for. And in only about 30 seconds, Jen's gonna get that clinically accurate reading, and we'll take a look at it. But I wanna draw your attention to how she's sitting here on the chair. This is important. When you're home and you're taking your blood pressure, you wanna have a resting blood pressure reading, feet flat on the floor, and you wanna position the monitor so it's right at heart level. So you see how Jen has this nice triangle, and she took a look at her reading, and I can tell by her face it's a little higher than normal. It's 136 is her systolic, over 87, that's her diastolic. Now, it's gonna take 60 readings and store them in memory. So what does that mean for you? First of all, it's going to interpret each reading for you. That yellow means it's right in the middle range. We're looking for normally at 120 over 80. Who wants to write down all of these readings?
No.
And then you lose that, and you need to bring it to the doctor and say, look, doc, you know, what's my medication going to be? Because here are my readings. You lose that. You have it all here. 2 months worth of readings in memory, and you can share it with a loved one at home. If you know, and here's the thing, in the middle of the night when you don't know what's going on, you're gonna need this, and you can easily take your blood pressure in 25 seconds. If you're starting an exercise program for the new year, you need to know what's going on inside. And think about the car analogy. It doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. You need to know you're safe on the inside. This gives you that peace of mind.
Well, and it's also a comfortable way to do this. So for $7, you're getting the case, so you can take this anywhere. Maybe if you've just been diagnosed with blood pressure, you're a little nervous about traveling, but you can take this anywhere on the road, if you're getting on a plane, wherever. Have it with you in the hotel room, and you can know at any given time, oh, I wonder, I ate this. Did this raise my blood pressure? I'm feeling a little dizzy. Is it my blood pressure? You need to know, those triggers. So maybe to change your eating, or maybe to remind yourself I need to be exercising more. And this is that little reminder, $7 to get this home, that you can be healthy. Because sometimes it's not that we don't want to be healthy, it's just that we don't have the right tools. So you have this tool at home. You don't have to go to the doctor's office, which sometimes raises your blood pressure just because you're going to the doctor's office. Take it at home in the comfort of your own home, and they're not, you're not putting it, you know how they strap that around, you're a nurse. Some of the offices don't have something this sophisticated where it actually hurts sometimes to get your blood pressure, because they're putting the rubber thing around your elbow and your arm, and they're squeezing it and it turns red. This is very comfortable, very easy. Accurate readings, though, is the most important thing. And I like that it's a digital readout that you don't even need your readers for.
Yeah, so technology has changed a lot over the years. Veridian's boiled it down in a very simple, easy-to-use package. They give you everything here. There are no excuses. And just a real-life example, my mom has struggled with high blood pressure. She had a heart attack several years ago. She's doing well today, but she takes her blood pressure every single day. She needs to bring those readings into her doctor, because her medications were fluctuating, and it was making her feel, a little bad and kind of dragging on a day-to-day basis. So she needed to know what her blood pressure readings were in a resting position, in her day-to-day life, like Jen here, because when you go to the doctor and you have that white coat syndrome or blue scrub syndrome, then you don't...
I try not to have it with Matthew here. But
like I said, it's a safe environment here. But, we don't know what's gonna happen. So a lot of times you'll have a very high reading at the doctor's office, and a lot of times your medication will be calibrated or dosed based on that reading. Bring in these readings for your doctor so that they can have all of the information. It's really about quality of life. And again, especially if you're trying to get out and exercise a little bit more for the new year, the last thing you want to do is be over-medicated because the doctor only sees you when you're scared in the office and have a high reading. And
I'm glad you brought up the doctor's office, because I'd like for you to hear from the doctor so that you get this home for $7, and they will tell you that it's so important to always know your blood pressure. So listen in to what the doctor has to say. Oh, okay, so the next item. Okay, well, listen in to what the nurse has to say.
Did I just get promoted?
Did you get promoted to the doctor? Okay, I'm sorry. He said that was the next item. But let them know why this is so important, not to even have to wait to go into the doctor's office, because there's so many different times where you may be dizzy and you may think, oh, I'm coming on with a cold. That's why it's called the silent killer. Yeah,
and it is important, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I've seen so many friends and family, let alone patients, excuse me, who don't know that they have this going on all the time in their bodies. And if that pressure is building over time, excuse me, second by second, then that can lead to a heart attack or a stroke, and you're not going to know until you go to the emergency room. So please, everybody, don't let that moment where you learn what's going on to be in the hospital or the emergency room. Know your numbers, know what's going on. Veridian makes it so easy. Everybody is picking this up, and I know we just got a bunch more in inventory. We ran out before, because this is one of the best values going, and I shop these all the time. And so as you're looking at this, just know right here on the table, you're going to get the carrying case. I think that's so important that you're going to get that so that you can always take it with you. Don't stay at home because you think, oh, I just need to. Sometimes we get nervous and think we can't go very many places because I don't know what's going on with my blood pressure. You will always know if you're one of those people that suffers from blood pressure. This is going to give you peace of mind. If right now you're having some symptoms and you just don't even know and you're kind of scared to go take your physical, this might be your first line of defense to say, you know what, let me get this home. It's just $7. Let me take my blood pressure. Let me see where I stand. And if it's a little bit high, you go into the doctor's office and you can give them the last 2 months reading, so that maybe it's not a fluke that you drank coffee or you ran the marathon or whatever.
once it looks at 2 months worth of readouts, then you know if you have a problem or not.
It is the most important thing you can do. Know what's going on, avoid those serious circumstances. It'll even detect an irregular heartbeat if you have that going on too.
Oh, that's so important. So get this home. It's like having that thermometer. You need to know your blood pressure. Again, 3 out of 5 Americans, they have high blood pressure. I'm sorry, 1 in 3 have high blood pressure, 1 in 3. That means out of all 3 of us, if you're looking at 3 people in the room, 1 of you have it, and you may not know. So please get it home. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I know that you will be back.
Yes.
I didn't mean to give you a promotion, Dr. Peters.
That's okay. As long as the pay increase comes with it, I'm fine.
Okay, Nurse Peters will be back in just a moment. Next, we have one more item for you, and it's all about breathing better as well.